Hey guys, it's Mains again from Mains Fitness. So, what we're going to talk about is how to lose weight and keep it off, and also to build muscle, simply keeping that nutritional value, vitamins, and minerals in your body at the same time, while getting fatigued and negative thinking, which, if you stress after working out, that's going to affect your body in weight loss, and as well as, stretching, yoga, and just basically as a whole, you know, feeling much more better in every way, shape, or form, like in any position that you do, whether it's a sport or whether it's just normal life and inside and outside of sport and exercising. So, first things first, fat cells obviously is that we don't want these fat in our body or glands. And so, if it's obviously fat cells, they're cells first of all. Reservoir lies in the fat cells, and when we lose weight, it shrinks. When we gain weight and we eat and we don't work out enough, they expand and they grow. Same thing with muscle, but muscles is not really a cell, and muscles do return even if they are removed. For example, if we lose weight too much. So if we get a liposuction of fat, of the fat cells, these fat cells, the positions, they're not going to come back in the exact same positions if we gain weight again. However, our body has the ability to put on weight again in other areas, and fat cells would be made again. However, not in the same way as before. Like if we break our bones, the bones wouldn't recover in the same, it wouldn't be the original bone, but it would be made up of a different structure. However, even if it looks the same, it's not exactly the same as the initial one. This is not as important. Same thing with fat, because the area is going to be reduced in the amount of cells in the area. So it is worth getting liposuction, as I am going to plan getting, and as well as like gynaecomastia, gland surgery. Many men are born with this, or boys, and everyone has a bit of imbalances in the body. So we have to work on these things, as well as muscle. There's not really, if we lose muscle, we just have to gain it back. They get small tears every time we do body weight exercises, BW, or free weights, FW, or tone our body. Even in running cardio, we do gain a bit of muscle in cardio as well. That's why it's called cardiovascular fitness. And so our body is toned up. And for example, you might feel it in your glutes, you might feel it in your, especially your abdomen, your abs. And that's one thing for me is it's the best way to, before running, do a bit of free weights and body weights to get your body and your mindset as well away from the fatigue or the fat that is in your body, because fat is there to keep your body warm and also psychologically affects you because of that mindset of it's your body that is made by God, but it's also like you are having to deal with this fat layer on your body. So you have to make sure that you are constantly in control of how much you consume psychologically. Always put your mind first. It's probably the best or most important priority out of your whole body is your head and your brain and your own psychology, not what your belly thinks, or and obviously have enough liquids, which is natural water, vitamins, nutrition, and minerals from it. And that's the basic and advanced thing to really consume. Not everything else like cigarettes and processed things that are out there to sort of say there is a solution behind, like nicotine, where it becomes addictive and it temporary stress relievers, or they say chocolate is for stress. Well, these things are very childish in my opinion. They have no source of maturity in them, and they have no solution therefore. So that's why you have to be very careful. So stay away from processed things and just things that are not original, because they're of no use. That's what I've been doing, and I've been successful doing it. Even things that are like juice, they really do squeeze all of those juices and fruits into one. So imagine how many calories you're going to consume. You might think it's liquid, but it's a lot of calories. Even coconut water, um, alcohol itself, these things you have to stay away, and just know that they're not natural. And that's why the best way to really do it is to put yourself forth and be your best authentic self, but also know that there's many other variants that are top quality that are out there, and basically certain ingredients are not, you know, put in there. Basically, I'm not talking about preservatives and stuff like that. There are certain things that have purposes. Some flavorings like natural honey is good remedy sometimes, but these things are obviously in how you say, in proportion, not all the time, because it has sugar and glucose. Even though fruits has glucose and it's natural. So anyway, when you want to lose weight, do cardio, even before and after getting liposuction, as well as following doctor's advice how long you have to do recovery for. If your body feels like injury, focus on other areas. Do not work your body every day in like overall every single body part, because the next day comes and you psychologically tell yourself you can't really work out any other body part because of what you did with the day before. That's why cardio is there to give yourself that that free energy. So when you come back home, you don't have to do like everything, like, total body workout every single day if you want to lose weight. But it's more of you focusing on one area or maybe two areas, and bit by bit you lose weight. Three if you're comfortable. So if you do understand the difference between the fat cells, they shrink when you lose weight because the reservoir that is used is the energy, but the outlayer of the fat cell remains in the body just in a shrunk state. And you can see that in many people who lose weight. But that's why once you get liposuction, people, who get cardio and it's like, why am I not losing weight? It's because you've done the same exercise. I'm not saying exercise is wrong, but it's more of they're gonna have to maybe fast, caloric deficit, and so on. I'm not saying that they can't lose more weight, but it is gonna take a little bit more time because your body has to have that deficit in there, and you have to do a lot of more muscular lifting. See how people who starve, their bodies really do become weak, frail, and less nutrition, less vitamins, minerals. You do not want that. You want to be lean, but you want to have that skin less, than 15%, 10%, some people, well, for me, less than 20% body fat in you. And so what you need to focus on doing is being consistent, but obviously eating and drinking in proportion, as well as if it comes to the time of gaining muscle, you keep lifting, do free weights, body weights, and do cardiovascular outside as well. Hit every single body part and make it that you can do any other difficult body part too. Furthermore, if it comes to the point where you lose a muscle, always quickly respond to it, because muscle is not to be lost. Fat is. Your doctor is not going to do liposuction on your muscles. It's just going to be on your fat areas and your glands. Once glands are lost, like in the chest gynaecomastia surgeries, they are not going to return. And fat cells, they're gone forever. So there's no storage place for the body to store it. Sometimes people eat too much and end up fecating, so it comes out as feces from the body, like poo and urine. Same way with the cardio, we breathe out carbon dioxide and we take in oxygen, so it comes out as carbon dioxide, sweat, and internal usage of the fat cells and fat reservoirs in those cells. But those cells remain, which we basically need to flush out from, get a vacuum cleaned out from the liposuction cannulas and from the doctors, and any other things that are in the body that we need to address, even if it's like skin scars, just for our overall appearance. That's what I'm also going to be getting. And yeah, because if you do a lot of sports, you end up with some scars. Many sports people do a lot of surgery operations which are safe to get these body parts in line. And yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this 10-minute video from AMFitness, and I'll catch you on the next one. And I hope you guys enjoy the journey, because I am definitely enjoying the journey. But it's also a matter of consistency and a balance to keep achieving what you want to achieve. And overall, it's actually a very big move to get fat cells removed, because anyone who grows older, even old footballers, they get fat cells that remain, and they get straight filled back up again. And it's annoying because your body doesn't have a sense of a block. So every time you gain weight, it's difficult, because you have to keep losing it. You gain and lose, gain and lose. Your weight goes up and down, where now it's going to help you maintain your weight. It's going to help you maintain your muscles as well, because you're going to be eating the right amount. There is nowhere for your body to think that this food is not needed and is going to be stored as fat cells, or your body's going to think that, you know, it needs to be stored as energy. Because when your muscles are used, that you know, your metabolism is at a good level, it can be stored in your muscles rather than as fat cells, and therefore, you know, that's where it goes first. It goes and stores in the somatic muscular system of the body. It doesn't get stored straight into fat cells. When we lose fat, we're using the reservoirs stuck in the fat cells of the subcutaneous fat, and as of the secondary visceral fat, which surrounds the organs. And so it's very important to target the subcutaneous fat first and then the visceral. But even if you do lipo, they target visceral or subcutaneous. And even if you want visceral fat targeted, it's more on like tummy tuck. If people are more bigger, then they, you know, do that. But it's unreasonable for people to get I'm talking about people who are obese, like very, very big, not just, you know, the slightly, you know, slightly obese, which are able to lose weight and then get just lipo. I'm talking, and, you know, maybe skin revision and skin removal if needed, but it's more of those really, really big people, you know, plus sizes, quadruple 5XL people. So it's more into the factors of believing in yourself and keeping that visceral fat off as well. So when you do cardio, your body pumps as a muscle, so you're benefiting your visceral fat removal, maintaining some visceral fat as your body needs, and also some subcutaneous fat that is also removed, but obviously naturally is gonna go and merge with some, like the skin. The skin is a bit fatty, and as an organ in itself. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been Mains Motions, Mains Fitness, Khasa Mane, Ayman, and yeah, until next time.